And welcome to today's Sonic Racing CrossWorlds video where I'm going to do something I haven't done yet. I'm going to do some rankings and ratings in this game. And before we get into it, you'll notice that Orbo is not here because, and I quote, "I'm here to game, not review." So yeah, that kind of lines up with the end of Sonic Frontiers. So I do apologize he's not going to be in the next few videos because, well, I'll be doing some rankings. In today's video, we're going to be rating/ranking, mostly rating I guess, all of the stages, courses, whatever you want to call them, in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. Now, there is 24 of these stages, which is a lot, and that's a good thing. They're going to be more or less very quick reviews and ratings. You know, hop in, say, this is good, this is basic, I'm glad it's in the game, 7 out of 10, move on. And we will be doing a 1 to 10 rating. 1 being, why did I make it? 10 being perfection personified. And I will be trying to ignore things like music, because those are extras. You can mute the game, put your own music on, and make no difference. You can change the music with the jukebox, so although considered, it will not be a deciding factor. So, without further ado, let's get into it, and let's rate some stages, shall we? Alright, here we go. And here we are at our very first stage that everybody has to play, East Stadium. Now, every racing game has to have a stadium-style stage, and honestly, this is one of my more favorite ones. Now, I'm not gonna, blow smoke everywhere and say how great this stage is, but you know what, for an introductory stage, that was bad. Still trying to learn how to take that turn. It's great. Has a little bit of everything to get used to it. Nice jump to do the tricks, plenty of rings and boost pads, and the level 3 shows you how much stages can change without being too drastic. So although your basic starter stage, your basic stadium stage, I really like it, I love the design, and when the characters complain about look at my Sonic, they're talking about the outside, not the actual inside track. Couple shortcuts, I really like this stage, so I am going to give it, you know what, I'll be fair, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Should be 8, but I'm giving it a 7. And here we have Rainbow Garden, the second stage of the game. Again, the first Grand Prix, or first 3 courses, are all basic courses to teach you how to play the game. This stage's or course's purpose is flying. I kid you not, I swear that's all the stage was created for, but you know what, it does a good job. Those ring placements really teach you how to drift in the air, and it's good. But the main reason I like this stage is because of this part right here. This, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but it's perfect for learning not only how to snake, but then how to chain your boosts together. It is perfect, it is great for training when you first get into the game, and honestly, the flower garden aesthetic is nice. Wish the flying section was a tiny bit longer, and wish there was a little bit more flowers, but overall, I really like it. I think it serves a good purpose. I'm also going to give it a 7 out of 10 for your basic starter courses. And here we are on the last basic starter course, the Water Palace. Now, I'm not going to lie, although I love the aesthetic of the water, I'm not a fan of the stage. It's a good stage, don't get me wrong. It serves its purpose in the fact that it teaches you how to drive a boat, and it does have a pretty decent long boat section to do that, but I don't know. I guess the cramped corridors making all the racers race together, maybe it's the lack of shortcuts, but something about it just doesn't sync up right with me when I play it. Overall, still a good stage. It serves its purpose well for teaching you how to drive a boat, but with lack of branching paths and the only real one being other item over there, and it just doesn't do it for me. And only one shortcut, and that's at the very end. It's fun, it does its purpose, not a fan of it, so I'm going to give it, let's say a 6 out of 10. And here we are in Metal Harbor, and honestly, I could just leave it right there. It's Metal Harbor, it's a great stage, great nostalgia, and what I love most is it has several branching paths. One right here at the beginning, where right you can get rings, left you can get speed and items, so really like to say like, this is what I need at the time. Now in terms of course, it is basic, I mean as you can see from the map, nothing too complicated, but again, it's great for teaching you like, okay, time to get used to learning how to pick your paths. And on top of that, near the shortcut near the end of the track, that is I can't take it no matter how many times I've tried, but it is just so fun to race. So honestly, I gotta give this stage an 8. Great for starting to ramp up difficulty, but without being too difficult. And here we are in Sand Road, and honestly, I wasn't expecting to like this stage. I just don't really vibe with sands in general, sandy areas, but I gotta say, sand texture on the road, which was nice. The split path here at the beginning, where you can go left or right, actually a lot of fun, and it's so satisfying to take this turn almost perfectly. And then third race, you can go to the left or right for water path. I don't know, I wasn't expecting to like this stage as much as I did. Plus, let's just be honest, the music is incredible. But I think it has the right amount of turns. The fact they have to change your traction depending on the sand is nice. And there's a few opportunities for shortcuts. Overall, I actually really like the stage more than I thought it would, so... It feels wrong, but I'm gonna give it an 8. I feel like it should be higher, but being honest here, I think it's an 8. Next up, we have the Colorful Mall, which... how do I put this? Although I really like it, I really enjoy it, I think there's too many different paths. At the beginning, you have 2 to choose from. I like to go up, and that's fine. But the problem is, not in this part, for me at least. I also have some great snaking paths, good for really testing your ability. Right here, you have yet another choice, do you go up or down? There's just a lot of, do you go up, do you go down, and right here you have 3 options, up, down, or middle. And although I always go up, you just end up falling and falling and falling, and it's a good stage, don't get me wrong, but there's a special path that opens on the 3rd lap that never seems worth it. Although this is satisfying to do, overall, I give this one a 7. Could be worse, but just a 7. Next we have Mystic Jungle, and I'm not gonna lie, when I played the stage in the open beta, I was not good at it, and I was struggling hard, so I wasn't expecting to give this any good rating. I was thinking 5, maybe 6 and be done with it, but the more I race here, the more I love it. Mainly for this section right here. This little water tube, you can do this, get some tricks there, drift right here, get another set of tricks, and it's just so satisfying to do. I've done this I don't know how many times, but I still love looking forward to this stage and pulling off those inner tube drifts, so I gotta give this one, 9 seems too high, so we're gonna say 8, but probably should be a 9. And here we are in the fan favorite Apotos. Now, not gonna lie, this is one of my least favorite stages, my least favorite being Water Temple, which, again, I can't really explain. Now, I know why people love doing this, the monster truck right here is so much fun but so worthless. Now, at first I was a little harsh on it just because in the open beta, everybody picked this stage, so I was sick of seeing it, but the more I've raced it, the more I've come to love it. The only thing I don't love is this part. You fly in plane, not pain, for, a few seconds, then you drop for a few seconds, then you fly again for a few seconds. I just wish it was all one long flying section. Now overall, do I hate this stage? No. But I still don't really look for it when picking stages, so I'm gonna give it a 7. Should be higher, but a 7. Next up, we have the great, the amazing Wonder Museum. Now, when I first saw this stage, I thought, really? A museum stage? But the more I race it, the more and more and more I love it. And the best part is, it's a perfect example of how much the laps can change on 1, 2, and 3. Racing in the museum just is so satisfying to do. You have this giant drift, which you can get 3 or 4 easily. You have the split path, which, there's a split path, avoid the computers. You have this up and down path where you can go up, get a trick to go to the down path, I think it's better. You have the tornado here, which I love, the reference. And then on lap 3, all of it comes to life with ghosts and the tornado transforms. I love it. This section is a little weak, but then you got this beautiful shortcut you can take. Overall, I absolutely love this stage. It's a 9 out of 10. No question. And here we are in the first non-open beta stage, the Crystal Mine. When I first saw this stage, I got excited because, personally, I love crystals. They're called part of old school gaming. But the more I race this track, the more it feels, I don't want to say bland, and I don't want to say basic, but I feel like I guess they could have done more with the crystal and mining aspect. This flying section, for instance, I just wish the machines do come to life on the third lap, but I wish it was maybe more like a drill going up and down and the excavator. And then you have this split path. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy the stage, but I just wish there was more to it, I guess. As you can tell from the map, pretty straightforward. I'm giving it a 6, even though I really do enjoy the aesthetic. Just wish the track was more interesting. Next up, Ocean View, and honestly, do I have to say anything? It's a callback to Sonic Heroes, it's a classic stage. The third lap has everybody's Super Sonic Racing reference, which, I mean, Sonic R reference is always going to be huge up there for me. Has a nice amount of turns, especially right here, where once again you can easily get a level 3, a level 4, you could probably chain 2s together if you're good. Has a couple shortcuts, one hidden one on lap 3, one right here that is a little difficult to do, but you'll get used to it. And the boating path, although simple, is refreshing. And it's also kind of obvious for a water stage, right? Honestly, I feel like I want to give it a 9, but taking my personal bias out, it's an 8. Although it should be a 9 for Super Sonic Racing, let's be real. And here we are in the Pumpkin Mansion, which I don't feel like it's fair to rate. Because of the aesthetic and the gimmick of the Pumpkin Mansion being ghosts and, well, as you're about to see, first you have this nice twisting section where you can go left to right and then left to right again while keeping your drift. But then you have the portal system, which takes you on the ceiling. You can drop these chandeliers down without losing speed, and they become obstacles for all underneath, including that one. Then you're back at the beginning, that chandelier you dropped is in your way, and then you drop down, which you can drop down even further. On lap 3, an invisible course, or visible track appears up there. And honestly, this stage it's pure bliss. And then if that wasn't enough, you get to this section where it's random. You go left or right, and then it's random again, left or right. And so every time you race here is just such a new experience, plus the references in the background. Honestly, unfair, but this is easily a 10 out of 10. Here we are in the Urban Canyon, which, when I first saw the stage, I didn't think much of it. I thought, oh, it's a canyon stage, what of it? But I gotta say, the more and more I race here, the more and more I love it. These drifts, these turns feel so satisfying to pull off. You have sectioned off sections right there which open up on the third lap, so if you have boosts available, you can take some major shortcuts. And even this flying section, if you go up, you fly and it feels satisfying. You can go down for just some basic, drifting and boost, but even that feels great, and there are just so many corners in this to drift through that I love this stage. The aesthetic also works. Like, it feels like a proper racetrack. And if you're good enough, you can chain a couple 3s or even 4s together here. I love it. I really do. A personal favorite, I can't say 10, so I'm going to give it a 9. And here we are in Market Street, and I'm not going to lie, this stage is a little boring for me. As you can see from the map, a lot of straightaways. Nothing really changes between lap 2, or lap 1 rather, and 3. This part is satisfying, but it's so hard to get onto that section, for me at least. And it's, I don't know, too many straight lines. The music's good, but again, trying to keep music out of it just doesn't do it for me. I can't really say more than that. It's a good stage, I love the aesthetic, it looks great, but just too many straightaways. Too many for my liking, and because of that, I'm gonna give it a 6. It's good, it's fun, but there's so many courses I'd rather play than Market Street. And here we are in Coral Town, and like Pumpkin Manor, Mansion, whatever, I feel like this is unfair to rate with the other ones because of its main quote-unquote gimmick, and that is right here, the split paths. You can take a split path, and then that split path has a split path. And that split path has a split path. There's so many, and can I just say this tunnel is beautiful? There's so many different ways to play this stage. Kind of like Yoshi's course from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I'm sure there's an optimal path, but I don't want to find the optimal path. I have fun picking whatever path I want to. And although that is the whole stage, it is so refreshing and different every time you play that I gotta give this a 10 out of 10. Plus, it looks amazing. And here we are in Blizzard Valley. Now, the first time I played the stage, I didn't really think much of it. I thought, okay, the wind is cool, the ice physics are nice, but I struggled. And although I've gotten a lot better, you really gotta learn how to do your wide drifts here. At first, eventually you can refine it. I don't know, I get it. It's an Arctic outpost, you know, there's mining here, stuff's happening. It's a good stage, and I've gotten really used to it, so I've gotten better at driving it. But, I don't know, it just has that feeling where, like a lot of other stages, I'm not exactly picking this one unless there aren't any good other options. But that being said, I do want to play here more often than some of the ones I've already rated. So, I'm gonna give it a 7. I don't think it's low enough to be a 6, but not high enough to be an 8. So we're gonna give it a 7. I do like it, just not gonna pick it very often. And here we are on Radical Highway. I can just end it right now, 10 out of 10. But, whoops, burned out. That's what I get. But in all seriousness, this stage is beautiful. The music, great. Try not to do music. There's just so many, the split paths, and I definitely feel like if we were to go back and play Sonic Adventure 2, or 2 Battle, you have whatever preference, just how much lines up with the actual gameplay, including this part. There's just so much references, the aesthetic is the same, the course layout feels very close to the original, and let's be honest, the reason this gets a 10 out of 10 is for so many reasons. My personal favorite is this one. You can go on the sides, and if you actually land up there, which I've gotten better about, you can just super boost to oblivion, and honestly, this is just such a good recreation. It's honestly anything lower than a 10 out of 10 just would not be fair. I mean, they even have the loop-de-loops, not once but twice. This course, easily a 10 out of 10, and I won't hear anything to the contrary. Welcome to the Chow Park. Now, when I first saw this stage, I got excited. Because A, I love chows, and B, because theme park themed stages just always seem to be the most fun to play. Now, if you look at the map, this is a pretty basic stage. It is, I'm not going to lie. You're not going to really put your skills to the test in this course. There's not a lot of split path, there's not a lot of decision making, it's just racing well. This part is a little difficult if you don't know how to take it. And then you have this part which seems complicated, but it's just a straight line. So, overall, racing aesthetic, it is really bland and basic. I mean, you're just taking a few corners. The third lap at least has a water park section, which is fun. As much as I love it, I can't get it higher than a 7. Next up, Dodonpa Factory. Now, I love the idea of this stage. It's a racing game. These characters are in cars, whereas only like 2 of them actually need to be in cars. Everybody else can run on foot pretty darn fast. So it's like, you know what? Everybody's in cars. Let's show you the factory where they make the cars, and let's let them race there. I love it. I love the paint sprayers. I love that they're hazards. I like that in the background you can actually see vehicles being tested in some sections. It's a fun course. It really is. I just don't really care for it. Again, it's not that it's a bad stage. You have split paths here, one of which being shorter, but you get no items and rings on it. You have this section which apparently you can drive over here, but it's a hazard. So that's fun. It's slippery, but hey, alternate paths or something. I just find myself wanting to pick any other stage over Dodonpa Factory. Great stage overall, but I just can't really give it more than a 7 again. And here we are in the Aqua Forest. Now, when I first saw this stage, I thought this was going to be a top stage for me easily. But the more I play it, the less I like it. Why? Well, because in the video, or when you first see the gameplay for it, it looks like there's going to be a lot of cool water shortcuts, like right here. You can jump and get back to the vehicle. where I could stay in the water and do water things, and I thought, oh, that's really fun. And then there's another water section coming up here in a second, right here actually, which, oh cool, I love it, it's Aqua Force. And then you have this shortcut that's so satisfying to take. But then that's it. It just loses its fun after that point for me. So although I really like the aesthetic, I mean water, tree, forest, it's really cool when you have this shortcut, which I didn't take. I don't know, feels like missed potential. So 7 out of 10. And next up, Eggman Expo, which, I'm going to be honest, when I first saw this stage, I thought it was going to be fun, but I thought it was going to be a top tier challenge stage. For those of you who play Crash Team Racing, there's a stage called Nitrous Oxide Station. It's one of the last stages in the game, and it is difficult, but so satisfying to race. I thought that's what this stage was going to be. And don't get me wrong, it has some complications, or, you know, a few hazards here and there, but it's not as complicated as I thought, and I think that's a good thing, because I love this stage. In fact, I think it's my favorite stage in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds at the moment. And no, it's not because of all the machines, although it does help. I don't know, it blends all three environments together. You have your racing, you have your flying for a second, and then you have the water tube. It really put your skills to the test, but not too much. I might be a little biased, and I don't care. I'm giving this one a 10 out of 10. I absolutely love this stage. Next up, Kronos Island, and honestly, when I first played Sonic Frontiers, I was worried, and by the end they saved it. So getting a very, very faithful replication in this game of this course, but it feels right. You can actually notice landmarks from Kronos, and I remember right here, this is where I first fought the squid, and I was confused by that name. But honestly, the music, the stage aesthetic, yes, I'm crashing into walls, I'm not paying attention. There's a few shortcut opportunities. I mean, they spent a lot of love and care went into this stage. You can tell that, you can feel it, and let's be honest, the music on lap 3, to give this anything other than a 10 is just, it's not right. And there's a squid, and I love that you can race on the squid track. I mean, everything about this stage, it's a 10 out of 10, let's be honest. There's even a shortcut that opens up at the very end right here. 10 out of 10, we'll play again and again. Next up, North Star Island. Now, first off, I love the aesthetic. It reminds me of old school Sonic games, which I believe is its purpose. But, I don't know, for as good as the track as I think this is, and I do think it's a great track, great opportunity, great theming, great design. I don't know, just like a couple other stages, I'd rather play probably half of the other stages over this one easily. And I can't really say why, other than when I race here, I just don't have a good time. It's fun to drive, don't get me wrong, you get your boost easily, but I just don't sync with it. I really don't. I think it's a great stage, but just not for me, so I'm gonna give it a 7. I think a 7 out of 10 is good. Could be higher, but I don't know why. And last up, we have White Space. North Star was the last one. And honestly, another stage that a lot of love went into. You can tell. Why? Because this is one of the few tracks I could really say lap 1, lap 2, and lap 3 all feel so completely different in a good way. The aesthetic is nice. I love that it refers to Shadow Generations and not Sonic Generations. And like I said, lap 1, 2, and 3 being completely different from each other. It's a great stage. It really shows off what this game is. And it's kind of a good thing. Whoops, I did it again. It's a good thing why this is the last stage. Because it really shows you where you can start versus where you can end when you play Grand Prix. So honestly, I want to give it a 10, but I feel like it's a 9. Sorry. And that is my rating of every stage in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. A few 6s, you know, a lot of 7s and 8s, a few 10s which I'm really surprised by, but the overall thing I want to say about this game is, I'm never going to be disappointed by playing any of these tracks. Mario Kart Deluxe and Mario Kart World, There's a few courses I try to avoid all I can, but in this game, I don't know. I really don't want to dodge any of the courses, and I want to race them all again and again. So, comment down below, which ones do you agree with, which ones do you not agree with, and feel free to let me know why I'm wrong about a few of these. I look forward to it. Yeah. Well, that was a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed as much as I enjoyed gaming. This has been The Mechanist, logging off. Until next time.